Looking at the evidence, this case was about getting Vybz Kartel in prison and leaving him there.
I agree. The difficulty here...
I mean, you wouldn't say, well, you can carry on with that, juror.
Vybz Kartel may be freed because of new revelation come to light in the appeal trial. You know what? Let's jet into this story. Welcome to Jet. So first and foremost, before we get into what this new revelation is, give thanks to Yahweh and to Yahushua. And while you're at it, why not touch the like button, smash the subscribe button, and touch up the bell before you forget. Yes, man. The Privy Council uncovered procedural impropriety in the cartel's appeal a few days ago. If justice is to be done, it must be manifestly being seen to be done, and due process must be followed at all times. The standard and burden of proof in criminal trials is beyond reasonable doubt. If there is a tainted jury...
As Vybz Kartel always has an ulterior motive for doing what I do.
Yes.
Vybz Kartel does everything precisely to achieve a desired result.
They may well be reasonable doubt from the line of questioning from the law lords. It appears that they may overturn, quash, or order a retrial of the conviction of Vybz Kartel.
Vybz Kartel police record is clean, and I have never done anything that warranted me to be in any inquiry.
They discovered that a tainted juror may have affected or influenced the outcome of the conviction.
I wouldn't say, well, you can carry on with that, juror.
Therefore, most of their challenges were directed to the Jamaican representative.
But the normal scenario would be that, of course, you get rid of that juror.
I agree.
You wouldn't say, well, you can carry on with that juror.
But, my lord, again...
But what I'm saying is the quote from paragraph 31 leads us to the obvious result that, of course, a juror who's refusing to obey directions has to go.
He has to go. Well,
that doesn't then follow that, oh, you can leave him on.
No.
One doesn't know how people may react to an attempt to bribe them. If the jurors thought that an attempt was being made to bribe them on behalf of the defendants, then that might have who knows, it could have inclined them to dig their heels in and prejudice them against the defendant.
My lord, I agree.
But the trouble is, we don't know.
I've got that.
We're not supposed to know.
I know we're not.
Who's saying what in the jury room? So you can never. So the hypothetical you're given can never arise in reality. Well, the problem that you're faced is a system that doesn't allow a jury of 10.
That's exactly the problem. The whole problem.
An unfair trial, it might be put against you, is allowed because the rules don't allow a jury to go around to 10. Is that right?
Corrupt juror might be critical, his vote might be critical to whether there was majority or not.
It might be.
Well, he's entitled to do that, but he's not entitled to persuade them by offering them bribes.
Certainly
That is an ongoing risk.
My lady, I accept that is an ongoing risk.
Contrasting this with the barrister representing Vybz Kartel, he went on uninterrupted mostly, except for clarity, as it appears law lords agreed with his argument, and therefore his submissions appear more coherent, persuasive, and stronger than the Jamaican's argument. The principle adopted in the Jamaican argument is saying one bad apple does not necessarily spoil the bunch, and therefore their influence may not have affected the outcome, and the conviction is a fair one. However, the Lords believe the one apple is enough to spoil the bunch, a phrase believed to have been coined by Benjamin Franklin in 1736. Therefore, it is highly likely that the Lords will come down in favour of the appellant, Kartel, whether they order a retrial, which is the most likely outcome, or send the case back to the Court of Appeal, another equally likely outcome. But what they also have to contend with is that if there is no retrial and the decision is quashed, that is, it is overturned, so the end of the matter,
the usual suspects,
and they all walk free. And say Kartel and the others are really guilty, But for one corrupt jurors, the trial is overturned. They could essentially be letting go guilty men because of procedural improprieties. This is not casting judgment on Kartel that he's innocent or guilty, but just an example how difficult the exercise is. I'm not certain how this will go.
I submit this would be an appropriate case for the matter to be remitted for a retrial. My lords, I don't think on the whole you yourselves do that. You normally send it back to the Court of Appeal to consider.
More likely in Kartel's favour, but a retrial. But what is really certain is that they have a balancing exercise as to how they intend to achieve justice based on their final decision. The trial system must be fair, but equally so, the justice system must also be seen to be just. So what is your view? Do you believe the new development in the Kartel's appeal will acquit him and a retrial?
It would still have the usual suspects.
Or do you believe the conviction will be quashed?
Business as usual, you know what I mean, because I got 7 kids to feed. As Vybz Kartel always has an ulterior motive for doing what I do. Yes. Vybz Kartel does everything precisely to achieve a desired result. Kartel is and has always been controversial, yes, outrageous and spontaneous, you know what I mean? And one thing that one can expect from Vybz Kartel is the unexpected.
Write your comments below, man, and let's have a discussion about this. For those of you who've forgotten to subscribe, please touch the like button, smash the subscribe button, and touch up the bell, and remember to share with your friends and family. So here we are going now. We are gonna jet off,